So, we'll discuss today what we are going to do for the Palo Alto configuration and understanding Palo Alto Firewall for coming days, all right? So, I have a syllabus here. You will also get it on the our website. Okay. So, first of all, we'll cover the introduction to the firewall.
Okay.
Okay, and we'll also cover the Palo Alto Firewall lab setup, then how to access the basic things we will complete, okay, like how to connect to firewall using telnet, how to connect using SSH, uh,
Okay.
HTTPS, okay, using an IP address from the browser, okay, and how to take the backup and how to restore the firewall to the factory settings, factory default, okay, how
Okay.
to reset administration password, and how to upgrade the operating system of the firewall. So we have so so Palo Alto comes with Pan OS. The name of the operating system is Pan OS, all right? And we'll also check the basic graphical user interface, how we can navigate through the options, and also we'll learn some command line. Uh,
Okay.
okay. Then we'll also see the zone implementation and IPv4 routing. This is all IPv4 routing with dynamic protocols. Okay, you can see here RIP, OSPF. All these are with the BGP. Okay, then we have IPv6. After
Okay.
IPv4, we will be having IPv6 routing with static and the default, also with the dynamic protocols, OSPF and BGP.
Okay.
Okay. And we'll also check the network address translation policies for IPv4. Okay. Site to site VPN connection. Okay. And
Okay.
we'll also see like how we can connect like if you're working in a corporate environment, there is a possibility they have different types of firewalls, right? So they
Hmm.
might have the checkpoint also, they might
Hmm.
have
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
router also, okay,
Hmm.
and they might have the Cisco FTD, Cisco ASA firewall also. So how to connect
Hmm.
and how to work with these firewalls along with the Palo Alto. So we'll also see that, okay, and we'll also check the SSL and the VPN
Hmm.
with the firewall, okay. Then we have a virtual wire deployment. Okay, that is also a lab, all right? And so so by default, from by default up to here, okay,
Hmm.
before the decryption, this will be default for every firewall, okay? So whether
Hmm.
it's a
Hmm.
checkpoint or the Fortinet. So by default, until here you will have the same uh, features. Okay,
Hmm.
all
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
features will be there available in the firewalls. Okay, from here, whatever the firewalls contains these features like decryption, application identification, content identification, then URL filtering, while
Hmm.
the wildfire, and then user identification. So from
Hmm.
panorama, so all these things will be available only in the next generation firewalls.
Hmm.
Understood?
Got your point.
Okay. So we'll check a few things today, few basic things. Like as I I said, you will have these things only in the next generation firewalls. So before we go for the introduction, we'll just uh, try to understand what exactly it is. Okay, so what is contained ID? Do you have any idea?
Hmm. Content ID? No idea.
Okay, So I'll use an Cisco packet tracer to explain you, okay? Because we have not yet set up the lab, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Got your point.
Okay. So so content ID is something that do the content filtering, you can say, okay? Content identification, okay? So what happens is, suppose if you have one client computer here,
Okay.
okay? You have a client computer, then this computer is connected to the Palo Alto Firewall. Okay, not switch. We'll assume that this is in Palo Alto Firewall. Okay, okay, all right. And we have the internet connection. Okay,
Okay.
okay, and we have the server. So we'll take one server here. So these are connected with each other. So first, your client PC will be connected to the Palo Alto firewall. Okay, Palo Alto is connected. We cannot connect to this here. Okay, so Palo Alto firewall is connected to the internet, and internet is connected to the server. Okay, so
Okay.
now what happens? The client sends an request to the server, and it
Yes.
goes with the firewall. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now what happens? The client replies here.
Okay.
Okay. So this is request. Request means it's rec- a data file. Okay. Maybe this client is trying to download something from this server, right? Maybe the software
Mm.
or the document files. Anything. It can be anything. All right. So
Mm.
send and request for the download. Suppose. Okay. And here, what happens? Server replies here. Okay, whatever the client is requesting, server replies and sends the file or data,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Sends file or data. Okay, whatever the client is requesting. So before it's sent to the client, what happens is we have a firewall in between,
Yes, you're right.
right? So we have a security profiles created here. Okay,
Okay.
security profiles we have already created here. So what happens is it contains the security profiles. Okay. So in security profiles, we have antivirus.
Okay.
Okay. Then we have anti-spyware. Then we have file block.
Okay.
Okay. Then we have DLP. Okay. Data loss prevention. All right. So all these things are configured here.
Okay.
Where? In the security profile, antivirus, spyware, file block, and also data loss prevention. Okay,
Okay.
when the server sends in data to the firewall checks for all these things, whether the file
Okay.
contains any viruses or any spywares are attached. Uh,
Okay.
okay,
File
so
block.
if there is anything, right, either it will clean that file before sending it to the client, or it will directly block.
Block.
Yeah, right,
Mm.
because it's not safe to provide this data to the client computer. And
Okay.
this is your network. This is your private network,
Oh,
right?
yes.
And
Yeah.
this is the outside world,
Oh, yes. Right.
right? So before sending uh, this data to the client, what it does is it will check for all these things, and also check if there is any uh, confidential information carrying with the files, all right, like passwords or something.
Mhm.
Okay, so if there is anything, basically what happens is it cleans the data before sending it to the client. So only after confirmation, like I mean, it's safe to provide this data to the client. It will forward the packet to the client, and the client will receive the data.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
So content, the the basic idea here is for providing security, all right? Or we use here content identification. So this is what the content identification in Palo Alto.
Mm-hmm.
Understood, or do you have any doubts?
So to provide a secure connection or secure,
To not secure connection, secure connection, it's already there, all right?
yeah,
Here, here it's a Palo Alto firewall, and we have the secure connection here with the client. But whatever the client is requesting here, we don't know what he requests here,
yeah, got your point.
right? Uh, we are not sure. I mean, on the client side, the client or the user, what he will do on his computer, and what type of activity he's doing, right? Maybe he's downloading something, okay, installing different types of software or testing, okay. But I mean, everything will not be available on his local computer. So what he will do, he will download it from the internet from here.
Mm.
Okay, so here we have a firewall in our network, right? So which will actually verify whether the file is corrupted or contains virus or spyware or any information that is harming the our network. So it will identify the contents of the file. So this is only the content identification here.
Okay.
Okay, before sending it to the client. Understood?
Okay. Now I understand.
So basically what is happening here is a kind of a filtering of data before sending it
Mm-hmm.
to the client. All right.
Okay.
What I will do is I'll just take the so next comes is the application ID. Now what is application ID? It is application identification. So we can discuss the same scenario here, right? So
Mm.
we have a client computer again. Okay. Then we we have a internet. Then we have a Palo Alto firewall here. and we have the server. Okay,
Yes.
so the client is connected to the Palo Alto, then the firewall is connected to the internet, and this server is connected to the internet. Okay, and what happens here? The by default uh, server, in the sense, I mean, we can take here uh, for application server what you suggest. Maybe you're using a Facebook. Okay, so we have a Facebook server here, and we can take another server if you want. All right, so we can add another server.
Okay.
Okay, maybe the Google server. We can take Google server here. Okay, so now what happens is this client computer is trying to access or log into the Facebook, and he's simultaneously using the Google
Google.
server as well. Okay, so what is happening here? Our firewall is configured to provide access to the Facebook and the Google. Okay, so
Google.
right. So here what we have done is we have enabled we have allowed, okay, we have allowed the HTTPS on the firewall and
Okay.
also the ASSL. Okay, so we'll also do this practical, all right? So we'll also do the
Mm-hmm.
practical, like how to
Mm-hmm.
allow HTTPS and how to configure SSL, VPN. Everything will do the practical. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we have allowed HTTPS and SSL here,
SSL.
right? So now what happens is the application identification, what we have in the firewall, what it does is it creates a session here. Okay.
Okay.
What session? It will create an SSL session here. So first session will be for the SSL. So this will be your SSL session. This is your SSL. Okay. So what we'll do, we have two servers here. So what we'll do is we'll have two SSLs here. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll just take here. This is for Facebook.
Okay.
This is for Facebook SSL, and this is for Google SSL.
Okay.
So there are two sessions are created here.
Okay.
SSL for the Google. All right. So now what
Okay.
happens is here after you open the home page of SSL, what you will do? You will log into the Facebook account with your user ID and the password, right?
Password.
So
Yes.
so it will what happens is it will create the next layer here. So what layer it may be? Login page. Okay.
Yes.
So you will log in and open a messenger. Okay, Facebook Messenger. Maybe you're accessing Facebook Messenger. Okay. So here simultaneously you will be searching on the Google, and maybe you have logged into the Gmail account.
Okay.
So so the firewall what happen firewall, what it does is it creates an session here for SSL first, then it will create another session. Under the SSL it will create the Facebook login session, then under the Facebook login session it will create another session for the messenger. Okay,
Okay.
simultaneously it will also create an SSL session for the Google and also create another session for the Google account.
Yeah.
Okay, so next what you will do, you will not you will also open, sorry, so maybe you will open post here. So you are trying to post something on the firewall. Sorry, post something on the Facebook, and here you're trying to open map, Google Map. Okay, so this session will be again created here. Okay, similarly what happens, it will start creating different types of sessions, whatever you browse. Okay,
Okay.
and what it does is application identification means what it does is it controls the session, whatever you are accessing the data, uh, creating session, managing sessions, all kind of stuff will be done by this firewall in application identification. Understood?
Okay.
Or do you have any doubts here?
Nothing.
Okay.
Whatever activity is been
So
happening,
yeah,
that is by application.
yeah, app identification will control that actually.
Mhm.
So it identify the application, it creates sessions, it controls sessions, and it will also monitor the session. What are the activities you're doing? So it will control all those things here. One more student has joined here. Tina, are you there? Tina? Hello? Tina, are you there? Hello, Tina? Can you hear me? Okay. So we'll move on, all right? So next, what we have, we can see here. Okay, so we have done with the app identification, content identification. Next, we have URL filtering. Okay. Then we have wire here. Then we have user identification. Okay, URL filtering means same. I mean, you can refer to the same. So here, same. You will have in a client, then you will have in a Palo Alto firewall. Then
Mm,
the the internet is connected to the firewall. Then we have the multiple servers. Maybe this client is trying to browse the Facebook.com or Google.com, YouTube.com, torrents, or some kind of gambling websites, right? Gaming websites. All right.
mm,
But what you want to do is you want to allow few websites so that user can browse, and some websites you do not allow. Okay, it's against your company policy, so you want to deny access to those websites. Okay, so in that case what you
okay.
can do is here in the Palo Alto firewall you will have an option where you can create the categories, different types of categories. And
Okay.
suppose if you want to allow Google, you can allow the Google. Okay, and
Yes.
if you want to allow Facebook, you can allow the Facebook.com. So YouTube.com, if you don't want to allow, you can deny the access for the YouTube.com, torrents.com. Okay, because torrent,
Okay.
if you're downloading something from the torrent, I mean there are chances that um
Mm,
system or a network downloads the viruses and spyware. Okay, so you you are being an employee of a company. I mean, you are not allowed to access the gambling website or play games in the office. So you want to deny access to those websites. So you can create different types of categories uh, uh, in the Palo Alto firewall, and you can filter those URL. That is what the URL filtering. Okay, so more than 70 plus categories are available in build. Okay, but if you want customize, you can also customize those your categories, and you can add your own and
mhm.
deny access to the websites. All right.
Got your point.
Like earlier I was saying, like, I mean, there is an option where the firewall is providing you with the wild wire function. Okay, here we have that. Okay, that is. So the meeting might end in 10 minutes, all right? So you can rejoin, right, using the same link. Okay, so we have here the wild wire, okay? So see, this feature is only available in the next generation firewall, right? And here
Okay.
what happens is, suppose you can use the same diagram, right? We have a client,
Okay.
okay? So we have a client computer here. Then we have a Palo Alto firewall, and that is connected to the internet, and the internet is connected to the public server. Okay, so so what happens is clients request and file from the server. Okay, and if if the file has some kind of a virus or spyware attached along with the file, okay, if it's known to the firewall, what happens? It will
It will
deny
block.
the right. It will deny the access. Okay, because we have already those signatures or the file, the virus definition or spyware definitions. In the sense, the signatures already updated in our firewall, so that file got denied. This is kind of, you can say it's an unknown attack.
Okay.
Okay, so what
Mm,
is zero day attack here? So suppose whatever the file is requested from the client. and it is uh, and the server is sending it to the firewall, and it contains the virus, spyware, or uh, it's a malicious file, and it is went through the firewall and sent to the client.
Okay.
Okay, because why this has happened now? So we have the firewall, but still the malicious file is got transferred to the client here.
Okay.
Why? Do you know the reason?
Since it allowed the file to get transferred.
Right, but it contains the malicious, like the virus. It's a malicious file. It has a virus or spyware, but it's still
It's
transferred to the
still
client. Yeah, it's because the whatever this is only called the zero-day attack, because firewall doesn't have any information about the virus or the spyware is attached along with the file. That signatures are not updated in our firewall. So what happens here?
the virus is being transferred to the client.
Right. So we cannot help in this, all right? But here what
Yeah.
happens is, here what happens is the sandbox. We have a function called sandbox inspection in the Palo Alto Firewall. This is a technique actually. So
Huh.
if anything comes to the firewall which is unknown, okay, and if a firewall understands that it's a malicious file, but the firewall doesn't have that information. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So what it does is sandbox inspect that file, and that will send to the cloud. Cloud in the sense
Okay.
that will send to the firewall
Okay.
firewall developers, where they will get the information about they'll get the data, the what type of malicious firewall malicious contents are there in the file.
Okay.
Okay, so what they will do is they will provide a solution for that and send an patch or a update for the firewall.
Okay.
Okay, but whatever the file contains, the first client received, that is received. All right, so that particular client or system is received that
Hmm.
file, and the system is crashed, or the file is got copied on the system, which is malicious.
Okay.
Cannot help on that, but what happens is sandbox inspect that file and sends an information about the unknown attack, and
Okay.
they will provide the solution for that, and they will release the patch for the updation of the pan OS or the signatures for the virus or spyware definition. The Palo Alto engineer who will
Okay.
find the solution and send the update for Palo Alto
Okay.
Firewall. Okay, this is only the zero day attack. You can say this zero day attack, or the sandbox inspection. This feature is available in the Polo also. So this kind of a feature is available in different types of firewall also. Okay, okay, but we call it as wild wire in the Palo Alto, right? Whatever the sandbox inspection is happening here, this is only the wild wire here.
Mm-hmm.
This function is called only the wild wire. All right.
Okay.
So do you have any doubts?
No.
Like we discussed the URL
Con-
filtering,
yeah.
content ID, application ID,
URL.
wildfire. So do you have any doubts?
Okay.
Okay, Tina, do you have any doubts? Do you have any questions, Tina? Okay. Okay, next comes is user ID, all right? User identification. So what we'll do, we'll discuss this user identification because it will take some time, or
Okay.
discuss it in the next class.
Okay.
Okay. Tina,
Sure.
Tina is fine. We can discuss this because the class will end in 2 minutes. Okay, so we'll not be able to complete that. So if you are rejoining, I mean, we can continue to discuss.
I'm okay with it, but
Okay. Okay. Then we can discuss this user ID one, and later, like I mean, firewall introduction will remain, right? So we'll start from the first topic, that is firewall introduction, from the next class. Okay. So we'll continue with the user identification.
sure.
Okay. So in case if the meeting get disconnected, kindly rejoin. Okay.
Sure, sure.
Okay. So we'll follow the same diagram, right? Client and the Palo Alto Firewall and the internet. Okay.
Yes.
So the client is connected to the firewall. Firewall is connected to the internet. So we have a client with an IP address 192.168.1.100. Okay. And we have a firewall with IP address 192.168.1.1.1.